Yo, what is up, my dudes? This is Divine Plays, and by request, I'm going to be doing a tier list on character difficulty for beginners. And as with all tier lists, this is going to be completely subjective. This is just my personal thoughts, from my personal experience. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So these characters in this list are not they're not in order. So how this list works is that, for example, very easy characters in this column, I feel, or in this row, I feel like are characters that are easy to pick up and do well with immediately, like in for beginners. And then so on. So the first character I have here is Noctis. I put Noctis here because obviously to a lot of people and everybody who plays Tekken, Noctis is one of the easiest characters to pick up and play. And you also get very good results from Noctis in beginner ranks as well. And it's mainly due to his range. Not too many people are familiar with his range or know how to get around it. So a lot of beginners to intermediate players will struggle heavily against Noctis. So Noctis, very easy to pick up and play and do well with. Next is Leroy. Leroy, he's just very strong. He's very strong, even in pro leagues. A lot of pro players play Leroy. He's basically got everything. He's got a good orbital. He's got a hell sweep. He's got good defensive options, or good defensive tools, good offensive tools, good pressure tools. Leroy just kind of has everything. So yeah, Leroy, and his command inputs aren't that hard either. It's very easy. I know Leroy has a stance, and stance characters tend to scare off like newcomers or beginners. But Leroy's stance honestly isn't that bad. Once you kind of like mess with it in practice mode, you'll kind of get the hang of it fairly easily and fairly quickly. So yeah, Leroy, very easy to pick up and play. Next is Gigas. Gigas, very easy to play as well. His inputs are not that hard at all. The only difficult thing that Gigas has is, or for beginners, is his command throw, which is I think it's half circle back forward 1+2. So yeah, for beginners, that's not that hard, or it's not that easy to throw out. Even myself personally, I still struggle to do it. Next, we got Negan. Negan is also very easy to play, very easy to pick up. His combos are very easy to do. His max damage, max wall carry combos are easy to do. I actually did an experiment, not on video. It's kind of just on my own spare time. I had my sister, who does not play Tekken at all, has zero experience with combos in this game, absolutely hates fighting games. Like, well, she doesn't hate fighting games, it's just not her, it's not her cup of tea. I wanted to experiment with Negan having one of the easiest wall carry max damage combos. And so I told my sister, hey, just do this for me once, see if you can do this max wall carry damage combo. In the end, she ended up being able to do it. It took her maybe like, I want to say 20-30 I want to say like about 20 to 30 minutes to get the whole combo down. And with my sister having no experience in fighting games in terms of like combos and stuff like that, I think that kind of proves to me personally that Negan is fairly easy to pick up and play. But anyways, next we got Nina. So Nina, a lot of people say she's one of the most difficult characters. One of the most difficult characters to play in the game. A lot of Nina players will say that she's one of the most difficult characters to play. But in terms of picking up and playing and just doing well with immediately in beginner ranks, Nina is one of the easiest. And my reasoning for that is because of her strings. She's got so many silly strings that just catch a lot of people. Nina's strings, like her can opener, it'll absolutely destroy people in intermediate ranks and lower. Even some high level play, Nina strings will actually whoop some high level players. Nina strings are very easy to do. Very easy to do, but very difficult to get around. So yeah, Nina, very easy to pick up and do well with in beginner ranks. Next is Kazumi. I think Kazumi is also very easy to pick up. She's not very gimmicky or very like, she doesn't really have that much of a troll kind of playstyle. I mean, I guess if you consider throwing out her Tiger's troll, I mean, I guess that's one thing. She's got her, what, her 4-3 mix-ups. I don't know. Kazumi is very easy to pick up, in my opinion. Next is Marduk. Marduk is also very easy to pick up and do well with in beginner ranks, even in intermediate ranks, in my opinion, because mainly because of his Vale Tudo tackle. That thing you can cheese with all the way to high rank or high, yeah, pretty much high ranks. And he's got a lot of moves that transition into his tackle. He has a parry that transitions into his tackle. It just does a lot of damage. His tackle will do a lot of damage for you. So yeah, Marduk, very easy to pick up. Next is Shaheen. Shaheen's also very easy to pick up. Well, he's easy to pick up. The only reason why he's not in very easy is because his combos or his max damage combos kind of need you to do like oh, what is it? I can't think of the words for some reason, but his combos are a bit technical than the characters in very easy. I guess in a sense Nina would be down here too then, or maybe even down. Oh yeah, for high level play I'd say Nina is probably like right here. Maybe even difficult, but for just picking up and play and get results with, I'd say she's very easy to just pick up and do well with. Shaheen, his hop kick is really strong. His gameplay is relatively easy to kind of like just pick up as well. But yeah, I don't know. Shaheen, kind of easy to play in my opinion. Josie is also easy to play and cheese with as well due to her switch stance. Like if you do down forward 4, I think it is, down forward 4 into switch stance, you're plus 11 on block, so you can easily throw out down forward 3 1 or switch stance 1 to get a counter hit launch if your opponent immediately tries to throw out moves. You have down forward 3 4, which is a low poke. Wait, no, down forward 4. What am I? Have I been saying down forward 3? Oh shoot. Down forward 4 into switch stance. Down forward 4 into switch stance 3, and then it's a low poke. Down forward 4 is a mid, knockdown mid. And then again, down forward 4 into switch stance 1 will be a counter hit launch if your opponent tries to throw out moves. So cheesing with Josie in beginner ranks is very easy to do. So yeah, she's here. I guess you could argue that she'd be very easy to play due to that very simple strategy. But I'm gonna put her here only because she has a wave dash. Well, it's like not really a wave dash, but I mean technically it is a wave dash, but she's got moves from her wave dash that are good. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna leave her in easy. Fuckumram, I'm gonna say is also easy. To some, maybe medium, due to his moves being like kind of, I don't know the correct terminology for it. For you players who know what I'm trying to say, is like in his combos he has like those fake out moves, and like his mix ups and stuff like that. Yeah, those kind of inputs could scare off a little bit, or could scare off newcomers a little bit. But once you do get his stuff going, he's very easy to do well with. Next is Lars. I'd say Lars is easy to pick up. He's kind of like your Ryu in a sense. For like Street Fighter, like the beginner friendly kind of character, like the basic beginner friendly character, I guess. I don't know. Lars just seems like a Ryu to me. So I don't know. He's very easy to pick up and play. I think the only difficult things for a beginner and newcomer would be like his maybe like his silent entries, his dynamic entries in his combos and stuff like that. That may kind of be a struggle for some players, but I don't know. For beginners and intermediate, I think Lars kind of scares off some people too, or scares off the opponents. Maybe that's just a me thing. Like when I see Lars coming at me, just doing dynamic entry into silent entry, like just rushing at me with it, I kind of panic a little bit. I'm like, oh shoot, he's coming. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my thing. Kuma and Panda are also very easy, or not very easy, but they're easy to pick up. They're very troll, and a lot of beginner players won't actually know how to get around the bear's gimmicky moves. So yeah, just taking advantage of their gimmicky moves, it's fairly easy to climb up in rank, or to get wins with against beginner players. Their combos, or max damage combos, aren't that hard either. Or at least the combos I've been doing. I don't know what other max damage combos are there. There's probably something out there, but I don't know. Their combos aren't that difficult in my opinion. Anna, she's here mainly because of the same reason as Nina. She's got the same silly strings to kind of just pressure your opponent with and annoy your opponent with and frustrate them. So you could argue that she's probably here, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think she's very easy to pick up and play and do well with in beginner ranks, but at the same time, part of me wants to keep her in easy. So I'm gonna just leave her there. Next is Alyssa. Alyssa being a very poke-oriented character, I think she's actually a great character for beginners to pick up. Because you don't have to focus too much on just doing like launching and then doing combos. You can focus more on just poking your opponent's health down. A lot of beginner players will struggle against her chainsaws. Even some intermediate players will, or even some high level players will struggle against her chainsaws. So learning how to use her chainsaws, you can cheese fairly well with those. Next is Fang. Fang is just kind of like a normal character to me. I don't know. I don't really play Fang that much. I did pick him up one time in my life, but I don't know. I kind of got bored of the character, so I didn't really take him too far. So I don't know how, I don't know much of his crazy high damage stuff. Yeah, I think Fang is easy. He's not too bad. Miguel, I'd say, is also fairly easy to play. He's kind of like your street brawler, kind of just rush down. I don't know. Miguel's not that difficult to pick up. Lucky Chloe, easy, very, very easy to cheese with in beginner ranks and intermediate. Beginner ranks, I'll just tell you straight up, just spam her, what is it, down back 3. Just spam down back 3. And if your opponent doesn't low parry, then, well, just keep spamming. That's really all there is to it. Lucky Chloe is very easy to pick up, especially in beginner ranks. Anyways, Dragunov, he's easy to play in my opinion, but his max wall carry combos are a bit difficult. I'd say if you try to go for his max wall carry combos, I'd say he's probably down here. But I don't know. I think Dragunov is fairly easy to just pick up. His combos aren't that difficult to do. He's got 1 break throws, or he has a 1 break throw and a 2 break throw, and a 1+2 break throw. So cheesing with his throw game is actually something you can do even in high level play. You could get away with it in high level play. Yeah, that's about it for Dragunov. Lily, honestly, I don't know much about the character at all. I did pick her up once as well, but I dropped her maybe 2 or 3 days after I played her, or after I picked her up and learned her stuff. So my experience with Lily isn't that great at all. So I don't know. I think she's relatively easy to pick up, but I don't know. It kind of just depends on the character, or it depends on the player, I guess. Next is Claudio. I think Claudio is also easy to pick up, especially with his hop kick being one of the best in the game. Arguably the best in the game. His combos aren't that hard at all either. His damage is pretty good. I think the only difficult thing would be managing his starburst. I think that's what it's called, right? His starburst. I think beginners and newcomers would probably struggle managing that well. But I'd say, I mean, Claudio doesn't necessarily rely on his starburst. So if you mess up using it, then it's not the end of the world. Claudio can still do fine without it. It's just Claudio's starburst makes certain moves of his have different properties. For example, his down 2-2 without the starburst is just like it's just a low poke. But with starburst, down 2-2 is a launcher. So yeah, like I said, it changes the properties of his moves, or some of his moves. So that could be quite difficult for some players to kind of wrap their head around. Next, I say Jack is easy to play. He's got a very strong poke game as well. Like I think it's his down back 1. Yeah, his down back 1 is a really good low poke. His combos aren't that hard at all either. Honestly, most of these characters in this entire cast and this entire roster, their combos aren't that hard. Well, except maybe like these two are probably exceptions, and some of these characters here too. But for the most part, most of these characters' combos are not that hard to pick up and play either, or to do. But Jack, I think he's very easy, or fairly easy. Ganryu, fairly easy. But the thing is, his combos aren't guaranteed damage. Well, his guaranteed damage combos aren't that strong. I think he get like 50 to 60 something with his guaranteed damage combos. Like with normal launchers, that is. But and like his max damage combo stuff, unless I just haven't seen his max damage stuff, the combos that I do for his for damage is mix up based. So I would get like 60, I want to say like around 65 and up damage, 65 to like 70 something damage with his mix up combos that I do. And I'd say he's medium. He's not super easy to play because of the fact that he is one of the slower characters. So that could be that can be difficult for newcomers to kind of work around, like his slow speed. But Ganryu, very fun to play. If you pick him up and you actually like learn his stuff, he's actually fairly fun to play. Ganryu is actually one of my secondary mains at the moment, and oh man, Ganryu is just so fun to play. He's also got very good wall carry if you can do his or if you can do his combos or get his combos down. But yeah, Ganryu, very fun to play, very silly. Katarina, a lot of people say Katarina is very, very easy to play along with Noctis, but I honestly have to I'm gonna have to disagree. Katarina is not that easy to pick up and play. Maybe like her pokes, like just spam her kicks, spam her threes, spam her 4, spam her hop kick, stuff like that. But when it comes to actually doing her combos, even some of her sample combos has her like do her dash, like some of her dash combos. And then you have to do like what, threes? You have to specifically hit three times in a combo, and then transition into like stuff, and then I don't know, Harrier. I don't know. Katarina is just not that easy to pick up in my opinion. Even to this day, I still kind of struggle picking her up, and honestly, I've probably just given up on picking her up, to be honest. But if you like the character, go for it. I'm just saying, just giving my opinion that she's not that crazy easy to pick up. Maybe I just suck. Maybe my execution is just bad, but that's just my opinion. Eddie Gordo, some of his combos are a little weird. Like how they work, it's a little weird. Like I actually just recently picked up, well, not recently picked up Eddie, but I recently started working on my Eddie combos and trying to upgrade them. And like doing his combos where you tailspin and then do up 4-3. into relaxed stance 2-3. Yeah, 2-3, and then back 2-4. Or is it back 2-3? No, it's back 2-3. Yeah, I think that could get kind of... Those kind of combos can get a little difficult to use or to do for beginners. But in terms of just like cheesing, like with his low launchers and low pokes, annoying low pokes and stuff like that, you can cheese with Eddie fairly easily in like I'd say beginner to intermediate ranks. But yeah, Zhao Yu, I've tried to pick her up, but I just don't like her playstyle. To me personally, I just didn't like her playstyle, so I didn't really stick with her. But in terms of difficulty to pick up, I think she's probably around medium. I don't really know too much about Zhao Yu, if I'm being honest. Next, I have Zafina. I put her in medium because of her stance. Her stances can be a little weird and difficult to use and utilize. And in her stance, she actually cannot block. So that's probably gonna get a lot of beginners and newcomers a hard time. So yeah, she's medium, but she does have a lot of troll and like gimmicky stuff. A lot of annoying low pokes. I think her back 1+2 is the one where she goes all the way to the ground and pokes your feet. That's a very annoying low poke that Zafina has. But yeah, I don't know. That's just where she stands in my opinion. Brian, I'd say medium. Asuka, I'd say medium. Her parry can kind of help you cheese your way through beginner ranks and intermediate. Lei, I'd say you can cheese with him as well with his hell sweep and his razor rush. Even, I mean, it's been proven that you can even razor rush your way through high ranks. But yeah, I don't know. Lei, I think he's easy to cheese with, but to actually like pick up and play and do well with like along the way, I'd say he's medium. Possibly difficult. Yeah, possibly difficult. You could argue he's difficult, but I'm gonna leave him here in medium. Leo, I say he's medium, or she's medium. Mainly because her combos also kind of make her do stances. That's kind of weird for me personally, but I think her combos are a little bit easier than Katarina's, if I'm being honest. King, I think, is also easy to pick up and cheese with. I say King is kind of difficult for newcomers and beginners to pick up seriously. If you want to try, if you're trying to learn like his max damage stuff, his throws, like his giant swing, his giant swing is one of his most important throws, and it's not that easy to do. It's a half circle back forward 1, I think. He's also got his chain throws. Remembering all those different chain grapples it can be very difficult for a newcomer to just like remember during a match. So yeah, I don't know. King is medium, potentially difficult for newcomers. Paul, I say, is medium. I would say he's easy to cheese with. Yeah, I'd say he's easy to cheese with, but the same reason with King, I think he can't. No, actually no. I think he's easy. I think he's easy to pick up and play. That the only difficult thing with him is his, like for beginners, would probably be his Death Fist. But if you can do a Hadouken, if you can do the Hadouken input, you can do Death Fist. So yeah, Paul goes. I'm switching Paul to easy. Next I have Bob. Bob is actually fairly easy to pick up as well, but he does have a wave dash, and his hell sweep does come from his wave dash, and he's got stuff that comes from his wave dash. So I'd say for seriously picking up, I think Bob is probably medium. Or if you're like me and you just like to spam lows, and then when you want to do a mix up, a mid mix up, just do forward 1+2 belly. You could cheese your way a little bit with that. So if you play like that, easy. But for serious mode, I'd say probably medium. For difficult, I'd say Heihachi, Kazia, Jin, Delvajin, the Mishimas. Heihachi, one of the most difficult characters to play in terms of execution. Not the most difficult character, but one of the most difficult characters. Like his wall standing launcher, if you want a good launch, you have to, from wall standing, you would have to crouch cancel into electric, which is very difficult to do. Extremely difficult to do. So yeah, I don't know. Heihachi is just very, very difficult to use in my personal opinion. Kazia, I'd say beginners and newcomers, Kazia will be difficult to pick up due to his wave dash inputs and his moves. Because a lot of Kazia's moves, or a lot of his combos, his stronger max damage combos comes from his electric. Like doing like, I don't know, what, 2, 3, 4 electrics in a row in a combo. So yeah, Kazia is fairly difficult to play. Jin, I'd say, is also difficult to play. It's just for some reason he's difficult to use in online matches, or just in matches in general, in my personal opinion. But yeah, other than that, he's basically just down here because of the same reasons of Heihachi and Kazia having the wave dash inputs, which is fairly difficult to do for beginners. And Delvajin, same reason. Armor King, he has a wave dash as well, and he also has an electric. Armor King, I don't know. It's the only reason why I put him in difficult is because of his wave dash moves. But if you don't do his wave dash moves, then I'd say he'd probably be just medium. So yeah, he's kind of between the two, depending on how you use him. Lee is difficult because if you want max carry, wall carry combos, you have to do like what is it? Is it back one or his back one or back two? I can't remember. I don't remember what it is, but it's the one where he just keeps punching and like punch canceling back one. I think it's back one, right? I don't know. I'm not a Lee player, obviously. Yeah, Lee can be very difficult to use because you have to put in a lot of effort for basically average outcome or average output. So yeah, that's why Lee, I would say, is difficult. Steve, I'd say, is difficult because of the many moves. You kind of have to learn the different stances and those moves that you have to learn and keep in mind. So I don't know. Steve has a fairly big move list. So picking up Steve can be overwhelming a little bit if you just go into practice mode and look at his move list. Hwoarang is basically no different from Steve. He's got one of the biggest move lists in the game. He's got a bunch of moves from his RFF and his LFF. I think it's what those stances are called. Left flamingo stance and right flamingo. His neutral stance also matters, like what moves he has. So it's just, he's got like a bunch of different stances that you have to keep in mind. What moves come out of what. But to cheese with them, very easy. You can cheese with this character fairly easy. Just with his down 3-4 pressure, infinite string pressure. You can cheese with Hwoarang very easy. Very easily. But to actually like legit pick up and like learn his stuff, he's definitely difficult. Yoshimitsu is, I'd say, fairly difficult to pick up as well because he's very gimmicky. I think I said it in my my preseason 4 balance tier list. The only players who do well with Yoshimitsu are like Yoshimitsu specialists. So yeah, I don't know. If you want to be good with Yoshimitsu, you kind of have to like dedicate yourself to Yoshimitsu and learn his flowcharts, his gimmicks, his setups, stuff like that. Law is difficult because of DSS. If you want his max damage combos, the DSS is a necessity, and it's very difficult to grasp the concept of. It's very difficult to throw it out, very difficult to use. I play Law a little bit, but if I'm being honest, I don't use DSS at all, just because it's so hard. My buddy who goes by the name of Lightning2155 that you see in some of my videos on this channel, he is a LoL main, and every time we do like for fun LoL mirror matches, I would always get onto him like, do the DSS, and then he'll actually do it. And then when I launch him, he'll be like, do the DSS. And then I just give him like some trash combo. Like for example, at the wall, he'll give me DSS. And then when I get him to the wall, do my wall combo, I give him Junkyard. So yeah, LoL is very difficult to play. Marshall is very difficult to play at higher level if you want DSS combos. But yeah, that's about it. Master Raven, for beginners, can be kind of difficult to play because some of her moves actually forces her to back turn and leaves her vulnerable. So that's the only reason why I put her in difficult. Other than that, she's got crazy high wall damage. Yeah. Eliza, she's difficult because she plays like a 2D character. She's not your normal Tekken character that has a launch into like combo. Well, I mean, I guess Eliza in a sense kind of is. She's kind of like a mix between the 2D world and the 3D world mixed into one. But I think for a beginner, even me myself included, I kind of struggle to manage her meter. That's actually the reason why I don't play Eliza, Akuma, or Geese. I mean, I do play Geese a little bit, but I don't manage his meter well at all. For beginners, I can see it being very difficult for players to manage her meter. But yeah, that's it. Julia, I'd say she's difficult to play if you're trying to do her max wall carry combos and stuff like that. Because if you guys don't know, for beginners or for just players in general who don't know, Julia has combos that can literally carry you from wall to wall in a stage. And she also has good wall damage as well. So Julia having combos that'll guarantee herself the wall and also having a strong wall combo. Yeah, Julia is just very strong. But I mean, me personally, I tried to pick her up as well the day she came out. And I tried to do some of her like intermediate beginner level kind of combos, and I just could not do it. I mean, now I probably could, but I don't know. It's for a newcomer or beginner, it could be very difficult. And then now we get to Akuma and Geese Howard. Akuma by far has the most difficult execution in the entire game. Like Akuma, you have to do demon flips in your combos and then land. You have to time like your airborne kicks to continue your combo properly. Yeah, it's just Akuma, very, very difficult. You can ask anybody. Literally anybody will tell you Akuma is difficult to play. Like his inputs, his combos are very difficult to do. The only people who say they're easy are maybe like players who main Akuma. Geese is also difficult, very difficult to use for beginners and newcomers. Not as difficult as Akuma in my personal opinion. I'd say Geese is difficult, or the most difficult things about Geese is probably his Raging Storm input. It's a very weird input. I don't even know how to say the input. I don't know. I'll probably put it on screen right somewhere around. No, this way. Somewhere around down here. I'll put the input down there. Geese also has, or his, what is it? His second rage art? Well, that's not necessarily his rage art. It's like a rage art, rage drive kind of thing. I don't know. His Deadly Rave. That's also very difficult for players to actually connect. Even at high level, a lot of pro players drop it sometimes. So yeah, those are like the most difficult things about Geese. And that basically wraps up my character difficulty tier list for beginners. And if you guys are curious as to what my thoughts are going to, or what my predictions are going to be, where Kunimitsu stands on this, I'd say Kunimitsu would probably be medium. I'm gonna predict Kunimitsu is probably gonna be medium, because in the trailer we did see that she had moves that forced her into back turn as well. So it could be a fairly difficult, a fairly similar reasoning to why I put Master Raven down here. But I don't know. I think she possibly could be a solid medium difficulty. But I don't know. All right, that's it for this video. Again, this video is completely subjective. It's just my own personal opinions, my personal thoughts. If you guys agree with it, great. If you guys don't, that's completely fine. And if you guys have any other tier list ideas that you guys want to see me do, go ahead and leave it in the comments section below. And yeah, I'll try to get to it if I am able to get to it, or if I have, or if I feel like I have the knowledge enough, or if I have knowledge enough to actually do the tier list. But yeah, anyways, this was interesting to look at for me personally. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. This video honestly probably came out a lot longer than I thought, or a lot longer than I planned it to be. But yeah, that's gonna do it. If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. And if you guys enjoyed this video or enjoyed what you guys saw, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. I'd really appreciate it. I don't know what the heck happened. I got tongue tied for some reason. Anyways, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out. Peace.